You are listening to Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast about weekly anime from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. So come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. It's Dwayne.
Hello.
It's Niall.
Oh, yeah.
And it's me, Brian. And on this episode, we are covering anime that aired the week of December the 7th, 2020 to December the 13th, 2020. And we start this week with, he says, bringing this thing over into his eye line, Mr. Osomatsu, Season 3, Episode 9, Sheeeh, Totonya's Shorts series, Outfit, and Let's Do Chores.
Has that made it to the title of the...
It has made it to the title of the episode, yes.
Okay.
I was like, every week I'm always like, I better check there's not one, or if there is something rather with Let's in there. So, we've got two lengthy sections and a short thing to divide them between the two. We open up with what I've been asking for, more Yami content. As the rice balls notice the brothers keep on doing this Sheeeh thing around the house, and they want to know what's up with the Sheeeh thing. And so Jishimatsu takes them out to meet the inventor of Sheeeh. And it's very weird in that Jishimatsu is the sensible, he's the voice of reason in this episode.
He's been playing the straight man a bunch in this season, and he's not bad at it, honestly. Weirdly enough. Yeah.
It's probably something to do with that hidden life he has where he gets like panicked phone calls and he has to go to the office.
He has a very official thing that he can bring home sometimes. Yeah.
He shifts mode sometimes to being a sensible one. Or back to being a madman.
I think this episode, at least this section, seems to be gets down more to what they're doing with these. The new approach to the season
if it
more
wasn't
than anything.
Before, it's very obvious in this one.
And I wonder if it works better in Japan than it does here because we're not aware of changing tastes in comedy in Japan.
Yeah, as in like you get the joke in Japan maybe more, and maybe that's it. It doesn't appeal to us as much. Like these guys deconstructing this decades-old fucking setup, and it's just like. What is she though? It's a funny gag. It's like, but isn't a gag like something that's unexpected? This has like been around since the '60s, so it's old as fuck.
It feels like
not so much damn you millennials not understanding, going like, yeah, all our humor is old as balls.
Yeah, it's more like damn you Generation Z not understanding jokes.
Yeah.
We love catchphrases, and we know he's going to say it. But what I want to see is the situation that will cause him to exclaim the catchphrase. What ridiculous thing is happening?
The joke
that makes
will
him say
be complete.
Yeah. And I did, because they mentioned, because Yami keeps on having to break off to chastise Jushimatsu for bringing
these motherfuckers? Who's their agent? You know?
Yes. Are these part of this? Are they part of the seventh generation? So I had to look at what the seventh generation, an example of a seventh generation comedian was, and handily there was a pair of them who've got someone who'd subtitled one of their performances. And weirdly enough, it does seem to involve, I can never remember the terms in Man's Eye, but the straight man is narrating and explaining what the comedy half is doing.
Oh, so he thinks the robots are over-explaining
I don't know whether that's deliberate or whether I've just hit on an amazing coincidence on the one example I could find.
Oh, it sounds a bit like what comes to mind for me as related to that. Maybe it's like I remember like bits of it in Monty Python's Flying Circus. Like you have John Cleese's character was a very serious announcer, and there was one of the other was that's acting a complete lunatic in the background. He's very straight-facedly explaining what's going on.
It's a bit like that, but this is probably like more a deconstruction of pre-existing humor.
A lot of it was deconstruction stuff, and it was puns, but then explaining the pun, and then of course the subtitles are explaining the explanation because you wouldn't get the reference again. There was layers upon layers on just watching it as a subtitled YouTube video. I mean, they were still quite good, but it seemed again, it's not quite stand-up comedy as I'd recognise it, except the closest I'm thinking of is stuff from the 80s still with but that, again, that's just the Manzai layout in terms of the straight man
And the
comedy.
wacky.
Yeah. But the actual presentation was different. I don't know how much different it is from, say, what a 6th generation comedian would be doing. Like I say, may just be coincidence that we've got these two characters who want everything explained, and I happened upon a performance where part of the joke was the guy was explaining everything the other guy was doing. But I quite liked it. I liked the little bits with him bringing out his scrapbook to show just how important this joke was.
I did like all the silhouettes, and I did recognize
Yes.
the Godzilla from, what was that? Destroy All Monsters? I can't remember which one he did.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Godzilla's there. John Lennon's there.
Yeah.
I don't recognise any of the other ones because those are the two which get thrown around this part of the world.
The one that reached across the water, I suppose. Yeah.
But yeah, they basically, in terms of, they want to know not what it is, but what it is. What does it mean? Why do you do it?
We don't want you to tell us how to do it. We want to know why it is. What is its purpose? What does it signify? What does it mean?
And then they come back to Jushimatsu later, and they're doing it better than they were doing it before. And he's like, "Oh, must go thank Iyami." He goes back to Iyami's cardboard box and finds a note that he's gone on a long journey to find himself because they have completely broken him through
Don't
their
look for me.
interrogation. It's a different sort of meta than the meta they used to do before.
Yeah. And if they are trying to do it, and me pointing it out based off some modern form of deconstruction of comedy kind of tropes, then it makes a lot more sense. But again, still kind of not for me.
That's it. This was more for me. This was edging closer to something I was seeing what they were doing. But at the same time, do I necessarily want it more than what they were doing before?
Yeah.
Or indeed what they do in the rest of this episode. Because the second half is the pair of them discussing Totoko's appeal, and Nia comes to the conclusion that if he just didn't wear that stupid fish hat,
just ditch the fish skit thing. It's like you're cute, like you got that going for you. Work it. Like don't wear the fish head.
Can't stop herself, and she just carries on pulling more and more of these fish heads out from behind this curtain.
It did the thing of like, this is funny. She has more and more of them, and then it stopped being funny, and then she started pulling out different fish heads, and I was like, okay, it's funny again.
And then we get Let's Do Chores, where they're made to do chores. I did like the bit at the start when they're drawn like chirping little birds, baby birds.
And I did like the ma'am just giving up instantly and just like, I'm not fucking doing any chores today. She just sits down and starts reading manga. It's just like, whatever. That's good stuff.
And then it's a struggle to get each of Ichimatsu's pretty on board with doing everything.
Again, he's playing as the straight man in a position that he normally wouldn't, and he's pretty funny. I think I laughed the most at his bits where he was just like, "Hey, everyone's gonna piss sitting down from now on." It's good bits.
Totti's he doesn't help physically. He just keeps on recommending them things he'd found on the internet.
Google is working for him today, so he can just look up as like, oh, actually, what you need there is baking soda. Yeah. Thanks. What we need here is elbow grease, Toddy. Thanks very fucking much.
I just ordered some white vinegar and baking soda for those very reasons, and then I watched this.
Wait, did you find out because of this, or did you go?
No, I already know, and also because my mum had told me.
He's making a volcano, not for a volcano.
Nice.
That's correct. Now I'm cleaning some coins.
Oh, I love doing that. That's fine.
Then you got the gunk left over.
Yeah, that is the thing, and also the coins are then a disturbing degree of shininess. But they cease to look like normal coins anymore. What else did it say? Osomatsu gets dragged out to do the shopping.
There's some good sitcom stuff where it's just like he can't open the plastic bag kind of thing, and it was just like this is all right. It's like, no, you fucking put the breakable stuff on top and the heavy stuff on the bottom. You know, I was just like, this is grand. Wasn't anything groundbreaking. I was just like, yeah, I'm appreciating this.
Yeah, they do the cooking, and then the dad comes home, and they're so happy they're going to feed their dad, but it turns out Dad stopped for a meal on the way back with one of his work colleagues, so they didn't need to have bothered.
And for this, he must die.
Yeah, they basically just turned into their mother by the end. And then next week, they're playing a game of werewolf.
Right.
And some other stuff. It's werewolf, etc. So I assume it'll just be a bunch of sketches again. But
okay, I'm back in the ring.
Yeah, yeah, I like the idea of them doing werewolf. Certainly, I'll enjoy it. Probably enjoy it more than if I'd got to that episode of the bland girls playing board games anime.
There'd be a lot less fart jokes in that one. So
yeah,
we're right to hold that.
Yeah. Weirdly, this wasn't the thing where I was like, do I need to watch any more of it? I'll get to that thing later. It may surprise you. Next up is Golden Kamuy, episode 34, Catching Up to the Wolf, in which the prison break happens.
And you get a lot of wolf metaphors.
We do, and a lot of stories about Wilk.
One of those wolf metaphors is a tiger.
Yeah. Yeah, so they we also see Sophia dropkick somebody.
Oh, that was fucking rad. As soon as the explosion goes off and she kind of sits up from snoring in bed with a big fucking grin going like, yeah, it's fucking time. Like, drop kicks a guard, has a dude like pickaxe or chains and shit, strangles a tiger at one point. I mean, like, it's all fucking great with her. It's just like, if you don't love her at this stage, like, I don't know what can make you do it.
Yeah, it's very much setting it up. And also, I like the bit, yeah, it doesn't go quite right because some of the explosives.
Some of the powder's a bit damp or something, so it blows one hole where they initially wanted to blow, what was it, like 4 or something?
Yeah, either that or Ogata was deliberately sabotaging it.
Also potentially possible.
Yeah.
Because they did set it off after that. So it doesn't seem like it was wet powder that they had.
There's lots of stuff of Ogata being throwing suspect glances.
Shifty eyes over the shoulder. But it goes extra further because the last one is like his face is like draped, is covered in shadows. He's super serious, sneaky. This is the big one he's been waiting for.
It is, and a lot of the background stuff with Wilk is the idea that he's willing to kill when he has to, which I think is supposed to contrast him as a father figure with Sugimoto,
who's a guy who's very capable of killing, but doesn't try to go straight to that.
No,
trying not to.
Yeah, but he's also like trying to keep Usurpa's hands clean, hasn't he, throughout the story? Whereas what she's currently doing would suggest that it's leading her to a point where she won't be able to keep her hands clean. Particularly because she's learning stuff about her father, remembering stuff about her father, hanging out with Kuraranki, hanging out with Sophia, who are very much characters who we know from what we've been told of their story are perfectly fine about not keeping their hands clean. But we also get a lot of...
Because they're talking about like Sophia has a story of her dad kind of saying it's like we were on the run, one of our guys was wounded and they were going to find us because he was like groaning in pain so much from the wound, so he like slit the guy's throat even though he was one of our own dudes. And I don't know if I could do it, but that was the thing he did. And she kind of remembers like, that's the thing he fucking talked about when I was younger, when we were hunting animals. And I didn't think to apply that same logic to actual fucking humans. And it's kind of like, yeah, you can see the insidiousness of it all.
Yeah, and then that's contrasted by the very last thing we get with Sugimoto saving Shirayashi, a man who, in theory, currently he's on opposite sides. But yeah, he's not going to let him die. I guess regardless of whether he's a friend or not.
He's not a bad guy. He's just kind of a dick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and essentially he's there to keep a Serpa safe as well. But
If he dies, he won't learn nothing.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I think you got, but there's also the little bit where Kiragi gets slapped by Sophia as soon as she's broken out of jail for what he did to Wilk. And you're like, okay, is it something? I mean, we know part of what he's done to Wilk, which is have a guard to shoot him through the head. But what else in the past beyond getting him? Well, I guess was he? Do we know that was he responsible for him getting burnt up in the first place? I can't remember now.
We don't know that yet. Presumably something like that. I know, because there's lots of old war stories that they're sharing in this. So I presume they got plenty more. There's probably something like that.
Yeah, even if she doesn't know his direct involvement with Wilk's death, it's like you kind of put him in a position where he was put in jail, he was hobbled, his skin was fucked up, and then he was fucking killed. Like, you kind of ruined him, basically, as a man. Obviously, it's a man she greatly respects, so that's enough of a reason to slap him in the face.
Yeah, and there's also something... I guess it's explained visually rather than anybody say anything about how his Polish name and his Ainu name are somehow related to the cipher on the tattoos.
She tells the story of Wilk's name. That like not only his name, but like how he thinks the way he does, in terms of like sometimes you need to kill the people you care about. And using that metaphor, as a kid, he saw a wolf that was dying and it called out to its pack him after a few days and then killed it. And he kind of understood that as like, I want to be like a wolf. So his dad named him the Polish name for wolf. But I think it's Serpa remembers that. Remember this now. Your mother knows my Ainu name, which is chasing the wolf.
Horku Oskoni.
Yeah, or it's the name of the episode, and I forgot. Catching up to the wolf. So if she knows that, and then she's also putting it together, it's like, wait, wasn't that some of those letters and some of the tattoos I was asking Sugimoto about? And she's kind of like, okay, so she might know the order.
Yes, so she gets a look on her face, and then that's when Ogata gets a look on his face.
He's like, okay, she just remembered something important. He doesn't know what, because she hasn't said it aloud, but he does know she knows something.
But he also makes the foolish mistake of going, oh, that could not have been a long rifle that I heard that used gunpowder that you heard off in the distance.
Unless he thinks it's his own boys kind of thing, you know?
No, if he knows precisely who it is, that has to be fucking Tanagaki, because he used the all-star rifle.
But he discounts it.
Yeah.
He's like, it couldn't be, but we know different because we've seen them already.
Yep, they are catching up, as the title suggests. Again, multiple wolf metaphors and whatnot.
Yeah, and I guess that's probably also the metaphor. It was like, was that why Kiranki had a guard to shoot him, because he knew that story as well, and he's putting Wilk out of his... He's the wolf pack returning to put the sick wolf out of his misery.
Wolf. Yeah. Like it works multiple fucking times, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I did like the bit of them like about Sophia not being what they'd imagined, but of course Karaki's still finding her super
you've grown
attractive.
into a fine, beautiful woman. Like, did you see her drop kick that dude? Did you see her fucking strangle that tiger? That was fucking rad.
Like, Kiraki's been going, oh man, it's Serpa, when we meet Sophia, you're gonna be super impressed with her. She's super cool. And he's like, yeah, well, we want to meet her too. She sounds awesome.
During the prison break, a tiger must have been waiting for the opportunity to break into the prison and eat those sweet, sweet prisoners. Which is just like, wait, is this related to anything? No, it's just a tiger.
It's just a tiger.
It's based in nature, apparently, because the same way that rangers might range kind of over long distances over the ice floes to search for food, a Siberian tiger might do that as well.
Yeah, they mention as much, that they go crazy out of their range, and this is pretty close to Siberia. It's in the same kind of fucking ranking kind of system, I guess, of the weather. I did like there's so many variations of catching up to the wolf and the wolf thing, because obviously they leave I've forgotten his goddamn name, escape artist guy, Shirashi. He goes for take a piss on the ice floes, because that's just him. and you know they break apart. So he's like, okay, I'll catch up with you on the thing, and they're like, don't fall into the water because you'll fucking die. And he nearly falls into the water, and he's nearly saved by his dick, but not quite.
Oh yeah.
But that, again, that's the thing of when a wolf goes off on their own, like they're gonna die, that kind of thing. It's just like, yeah, he's fucked on his own, especially him. He's super fucked on his own. But again, Sugimoto isn't that kind of guy. He's not the guy who is gonna let a wolf who would slow him down fall into the ice and die.
Yeah, well, I remember like thinking a long way back. It was an earlier incident when they needed to they needed like hunt like a caribou or whatever like that where they die, and then Sugimoto is putting up like, you know, they're going, I'm going to kill this animal, like no bother at all. But then he sees himself in the eyes, and then had to kind of cuts back, and he has the face of the caribou or the deer. It's like, oh, it's like me. So this is kind of change in his perception of these things from going a long way after the war. But now he's brain damaged, so he kind of can flip back out the other way very easily as well.
I mean, like, yeah, he has physical and emotional and brain damage now, so it's a good combination of things to change him.
Yeah, another good episode. Though now, after getting a taste of Hijikata again, I was like, what's he up to? What's Tsurumi up to?
I know. I feel there's going to be like a big chase across his ice floor, and they're going to run into somebody. They don't know who yet when they get to the safe ground on the other side.
I was surprised the Prison Break was. Yeah, I was surprised the Prison Break wasn't more wild, but it was just very. Even though it went wrong, it was very efficient, I suppose.
Yeah.
I was wondering why they were attacking at dawn as well, and I was just like, surely it'd be better at nighttime. And I was like, oh, because you're going to disguise yourself among the fishermen. And I was like, that's pretty clever.
Yeah.
And then we got Jujutsu Kaisen, episode 11, Narrow-Minded. This is the thing where I was like, do I need to watch the anime?
What?
I don't know. I think it was around this point, I think we got of high school as well, where I think the excitement of the animation had worn off, and I was like, I'm not sure as an adaptation it's adding anything beyond the exciting animation, which I could watch out of the context of the show. It was weird. I was like, I technically like it, but of the things I watched this week, this was the thing which I just wasn't getting any excitement from. Except the bit at the start. Everything before, up to the opening credits. Up to the opening credits was great, because that was the big old fighty stuff. It was the more the soap opera stuff with the kid who's going bad and being tricked to go bad by Mojito and Ghetto.
I feel like it hits a little different with the performance, and the timing works different, but in its own way quite well. With like the initial thing of they're hanging out with the mom and they're watching movies and everything's great, and then like it nearly instantly, then everything goes to shit and is fucked. And I was just like, okay, yeah, that hits pretty hard, pacing wise. It hits well. But I kind of get where you're coming from. You like the comic itself is quite fucking good, and if you're reading that, why would you watch the show? I kind of get where you're coming from.
Yeah, that was it, because I didn't think the pace. I thought it suddenly dragged throughout most of the episode.
Fair enough.
I got that sensation as well. I don't know whether it was just the way it was spaced out, because it's fun to lengthen out the action sequences, and it's cool to go with that. And then it goes at the expense, because you feel like you're kind of cutting out a bit of the actual story progression there. And it feels like it kind of just like stops at a point, or it's intended to stop at this one point, which one of so, but it feels like it then has to very gradually edge towards that, and you know, it really kind of just puts a speed bump on it, really.
That's better as a chapter break rather than.
It quite often ends middle of chapters of the comic, I've noticed.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you a climax. It gives you the climax at the start of the next episode, and then it has to, as you say, wind itself back up to speed again.
Which would be great, like if you were watching it in like one after the other, like marathoning them, because you'd be just like, oh my god, I gotta see what happens next, and then you do see what happens next, and then you watch the rest of the episode. Oh, I gotta see what happens next. But yeah, I kind of get you week to week. It does. I can see how it's losing momentum for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like where should have ended off there really. Maybe it should have ended off like this about an episode ago, or after it all the lads like usually went back to Junpei's house and they had lovely dinner. His mum was super sound. You get to like her just in time for her to get chomped by a monster, and then credits. That's where you stop right there. So you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
His man was super sound. Like she didn't have nothing to do with this. Why?
Yeah, I think I'm feeling it worse because I'm also watching Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai every week, where I feel like that's absolutely nailing its pacing, 100%. But yeah, that opening fight, absolutely fantastic.
It's pretty sweet. I
Even
like
though it's,
I watched it, then like before even finishing the episode, I was like, I'm watching that again. I just went back and watched it again.
it's the getting the leg cut off and then all that other stuff falling on top of him.
Yeah.
Is a lot of fun. As Nanami says, if we both survive, I'll fight you again later, but not right now.
Sorry. A guy could hold to be soaps. He's out of there.
I gotta get home to worry about you as a monster. Yeah, so then he like takes revenge on the various people from school who've wronged him towards the end.
One of the bullies got some nerdy kid to write his essay for him, but he did too good of a job, and now it got put up for like this school award. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. So, yeah, thanks for idiot for giving attention down on me. Fucking write something that's good next time.
I thought it worked quite well with the reveal of your man's scar under his hair, because initially, like the way it's presented with the curse, and it's like, oh, was he fucking manipulated him and added some weird, like, gross deformity monster onto his head? And it's like, no, those are just cigarette fucking burns that this guy has specifically been doing to him.
Yeah.
It worked quite well.
I liked how his technique manifesting as this phantom jellyfish, and it stings you, and it causes like these balls, like angry like warts to go up in your skin.
It's like a nice contrast with the scars that he has from this guy. Yeah.
But kind of cuts off in the middle of that because Yuji's busting into the room. It's like, what's going on? It's just... Yeah, you can see the dude. He's got his thing floating in the background. You see his technique. He's got his cool. He's kind of the equivalent of a Jujitsu school shooter at this stage.
I will say a thing which I'm not sure I would have thought the first time through reading it. I was like, is Geto just deliberately trying to get all these fingers into Yuji's stomach?
Yeah, no, it's more clear in this one. It's just like, I just want to fucking increase Tsukina as much as I can. Let him fucking loose.
Yeah, which makes you kind of think, is he somebody at Sukuna, some kind of sleeper agent that he kind of left after himself to resurrect him in the event of his destruction?
Well, we can find out more about him when that prequel comic comes translated into English next year. Because he's in that as well, and that kid everybody talks about, but we never see.
Oh yes, Okatsu, super cool man.
Could have been the lead character, but he didn't get the chance.
But he's not there.
No, he doesn't even get to appear in it. It's not like Black Clover when all the other characters who could have been lead characters are actually characters in the series. Anything else to add beyond my disappointment?
I enjoy, as always, I enjoyed I'm going to call him the secretary guy, the guy who was like trying to chase one of the little curses with a net, and then he's ringing him on the phone. It's like, where are you? I'm at his house having dinner. And it's like, fucking just be careful, all right? It's like, we're going to watch a movie. Pick me up in like 2 hours. It's like, what? And then he's trying to call the other guy, and the other guy's like, yeah, come pick me up. And he's like, yeah, I got to go pick up the other guy. Wait, he's not with you? And he's like,
it is have to go like what?
Like, if I ring him up, he'll just yell at me, and then the phone rings and it's him calling. It's just his constant terror of his life is really sad and really, really funnily presented.
Or Ichiji. Yeah. It's good time to pick it back up. I think it may find a better way of pacing it when we get the inter-school friendly meet-up kind of a competition. So it might, do some
Okay.
more things there. And that would also probably need some kind of cool looking spectacles there, with obviously various techniques being deployed. So, I'll stick around for that at least.
As if they get to it.
Yeah.
That might be for the next season. Then we've got With a Dog and a Cat Every Day's Fun, episode 11. It's another single episode story. We get a tale of a previous dog.
Well, it's 2 parts because you got the flashback and then the present day pets.
It's mostly about another dead dog.
Yeah,
But it's remembered more fondly in this way. It was just, like when she was alive, she was this rambunctious character, but also very noble and stoic, like a samurai. It was like a lost dog. They put an ad out saying, "We found your dog, come pick it up," but no one answered it. So I guess we better take care of this dog, man. It became a beloved family pet.
It wouldn't shit beside the house. It would actually like drag its lead tied to like a cinder block into the street, just because like I have brought you shame. And it's like, no, I love you, samurai dog. You're the best dog ever. Current pets don't care where they shit.
Okay, go on, pick that up, will you?
Yeah, the dog's like, I did a shit.
Yeah, I'm proud.
Aren't you proud of me? I got almost in the tray.
So yeah, I think this is a nurture over nature. Like that samurai dog clearly had good habits before she got it, but these motherfuckers, they've been trained with bad habits from the get go. Because she's just like, oh, you're so precious. Let me just pick up your shit. Train your dogs. Come on.
I just talking to dogs. I see they've got they're teasing Chainsaw Man Nendoroids for Denjian power.
Yeah. I think I saw some of those. He has like a hand that has like the little pull chain attached to it. Pull drawstring. I don't know what the fuck they're called in chainsaws. Those things.
It's fun.
Starter wire. I don't fucking know.
Isn't it choke?
Yeah.
What's it? Yeah.
It looked alright.
Chainsaws in my time.
I was more happy with the chainsaw head guy with the tongue sticking out. I was like, that looks like a good Nendoroid.
Oh well, just think of how many like bodies you can put that on now. That's a real appeal. Coming to a Twitter thread near you soon.
Yeah.
Then we get Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai, episode 11, Hyunckel, the Dark Swordsman, in which Dai cannot use his superpower because Hyunckel is him.
I can only use it when I'm enraged by the enemy, but he's got the same backstory as me.
He was raised by skeletons. His dad was
a skeleton.
My dad was the best skeleton because he had 6 skeleton arms.
He also had a tongue.
And eyeballs. But, you know.
And normally shaped skull compared to like the xenomorphs that are running around with the big cone heads.
Yeah, but he was super cool and badass, and he was like the head of that division. I assume the undead division of the army.
Yeah.
And
he was allowed to raise a human baby because he was so tough, and he was the guard to the gate to the Dark Lord's chamber.
Again, I love how this is like a very cartoony, like humorous-looking skeleton. He's like one of the top warriors in the Dark Army. It's like, ho, what a lovely baby.
I know.
I don't think he was that tough. I mean, like he was probably pretty strong since he can wield like 6 swords, but you know.
Right, but he's raised by all the rest of the monsters. He's got Uncle Minotaur and Auntie Cyclops. You know, they're all hanging around help raising this child. They all love him.
Yeah, the kid didn't know better because he was raised in a dungeon by monsters, and he's just like, "Oh, this is perfectly normal." And then one day he's like, "Son, you must hide. The heroes are here. Don't come out. God. Whatever happens, don't come out." And he does come out, and he sees his father's corpse. Can you even describe?
Yes,
him
he
as
turned to ashes
corpse
because, unlike other monsters, the undead need the Dark Lord's power to actually be alive in the first place. So once the hero defeated the Dark Lord, all the undead just dissipate.
Yeah, he does get like his eye regenerates.
Him in as well.
He does like kind of come in with half a skull and is like, "Oh, like goodbye, son. I love you. Thanks for everything," kind of thing. And
yeah, all those werewolf monsters have definitely just got stabbed to death.
Oh no, I guess the Dark Lord's power was stopping them from dying of the stab wounds that they got before they got turned into a werewolf. That's...
Ooh.
Yes.
But yes, he'd found him, and then he was going to train. He was going to train Hyunckel, not realizing
He thought
Hyunckel's
it was a kid
past.
that the monsters kidnapped. He was just like, "Oh,
Yes.
I'll train this kid." And then like it's like, "Oh, I've trained you in most of the ways. Here's your graduation thingy." And I'm not gonna give you the like full training because you got like some dark aura. You know what that's about? You killed my father. What? You didn't mention that up to now. Fucking die! And then he instinctively defends himself, knocking the kid off a cliff into a raging river, in which he was saved by a different monster, the whispery guy. I forgot his name again.
Yeah.
It was Mr. Vern actually.
Oh, Mist Vern. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so there is Dark King Vern, Stern Vern. You got Mr. Vern as well.
Maybe he's a relation. I don't know.
Just like it's just like the brother-in-law. He's got to get a job for him in the Dark Island. Come on, you said you promised you would. He's just laying about the house, just haunting the place and causing an awful commotion.
Not even saying anything. He's just being a creep.
Using a ball, the broadband. It's not
rescuing babies and making them run the Dark Army.
Yeah, and at the start of the episode, they were discussing that Dai couldn't use the ultimate sword technique either because that was going to be on his, what was it, his 11th day of
Final
training?
exam.
Seventh day of training. 'Cause they're only
Seventh
gonna
day,
train
yes.
He didn't learn air slash because that's the hardest one. And your man's like, that's barely a good advanced strash. I can do one of those. Check it out. Wow. See, I don't even know the air slash like you, so I can do the same.
And yeah, and then he's like, oh, well, I've got my armor. What's my armor? It's my sword. Also, my sword, and then when I'm in this armor form, my sword splits into like a whip, and I was like, I guess that's where that thing from Bleach came from.
Well, it's a whip, and it's also like the front of his helmet when he's not using it.
But that was kind of cool because then like, it comes with the little plume at the back. Of the that's cool looking design. Check this out.
Oh yeah, if I was playing role playing games at the moment, I would have definitely ripped this off.
Pretty rad, yeah.
There's a
either as a magic
item
or
it's a dude.
It's probably the Yu-Gi-Oh cards based off that guy. To be fair, yeah.
It's like he's got like a dagger for like a face piece. He's got like he's got a rapier and a claymore. Like those don't go together as a two-handed sword thing, but all right.
So yes, after he's told this story, so Mom's laid out, Dai's down, Pop's trying to get Dai to use the power, but we're like, as viewers, we're like, you see, he can't because he's sympathizing too much with Hyunckel. You can't get mad at him and use that power. But who comes to save Dai's life? But Crocodile, he's made a babyface turn.
So soon as well. Didn't even wait till he got out of the ICU. He's straight in there.
I feel like he could have done a better job than blocking the killing blow with his body, just taking it in the body, just like, haha, gotcha, fucker. It's like, yeah, but my sword is in you. Not the best plan, but he's not on top game, like you say. He hasn't healed up fully.
But he's here to cry, and that will remind Hyunckel of his dad, a crying skeleton.
Wait, I've become the very thing I hate. A guy who kills monsters that I like.
Yes.
Well, he didn't kill him, though.
I mean, like, yeah, but he's currently stabbing the fuck out of him, so, yeah.
Yeah, but that guy did not hold up much chances for Crocodile's survival, but I'm pretty sure Crocodile's
They said that
survive.
the last time as well.
Yes.
They said he had a 50-50 shot, and he appears from an eagle with a sword in his gut, and is like, okay, eagle, take away Pop and die. And they're like, what about ma'am? And he's like,
it's only got 2 hands, lads, and I'm trying my best here.
Don't worry, your man's a misogynist. It's not a problem. He's going to leave her alone.
Yeah.
So the eagle takes them away, and they're safe. But then they're greeted by some random old dude to be continued.
Yes. Well, yeah. Also, Crocodile has to explain. Yeah, not all the monsters obey the Dark Lord. Some of them obey me. So you're fine with this giant eagle.
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool. We type.
But no, I'm looking forward to the inevitable opening change when we get Crocodile in some sort of heroic role in the opening.
Yeah, it's hard to get him out of there because it's got a really cool sequence where the camera's swooping around. It's kind of jumping from one person to the next, and then like he throws a fireball, but then the other guy catches that and turns into a different spell, and it kind of zooms around like that. He's in the middle. He's like kind of in the middle of that somewhere.
This time he'll be getting shot by it.
it's just like the
my job is to take the hit. That's
shield.
what I do.
No,
Mr. President. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing is always. It is like this is like I get this the super serious dude has this. No, it's almost like a silly an upbringing as died that the little boy hero does, but you can kind of see, oh, it's lame, this little bit of tragedy. No, there was a serial skeleton man. He was still my dad, so I have to avenge him.
Yeah, it's fun to see. Yeah, it's like, 'cause I think it's supposed to be like 21. Hyunckel is, from what I was looking at. Yeah, I like the idea of Crocodile being a hero because he's got a. It's not many shows have like a giant pink crocodile man as a hero.
I guess freaking oh my god, I've forgotten the name of it now. We're climbing the tower. That's not the name of the show.
Oh yes,
That
Tower of
God.
something or
yeah,
other. God.
yeah. That had a big dinosaur man in it as well, I guess.
Yeah. But see how quickly I've forgotten that one in favor of the scooter one.
Yeah.
Yes. Talking to Dinosaur Ben, Gallon Dino, episode 11. Hello?
No.
The Amazing Wanna Go Out X. No Worries. Subchannel 2.
Instantly forgotten what the hell
And
Subchannel
then a
is.
load of live action stuff, some of which hit, some of which were just seemed, what can we film during coronavirus limitations?
No, it's a magical theme park where the dinosaur has rented out the whole theme park for them. It's not like it's closed down because of coronavirus. It's
If
magical and beautiful.
it hadn't been for that video call, I would have said that entire live action part was a dud, but the video call was so my cup of tea.
That was better because initially I was like, "Is this just a video call?" And I was like, "Wait, what the fuck was that?" And then it becomes about that. That bit was great. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
It's the ghost of a panda, which does not seem to be so worried about concealing its presence.
Well, we think it's there's like a silly part in the background because he's messing around with the.
I thought it was the
background or
filters.
some shit
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I would say also caught on camera. Besides a ghost of this dinosaur, it's a ghost of a panda. Real panda ghost caught on camera.
Yeah, just
Prime
the
time
unsolved mysteries
investigates.
of dinosaur and panda ghosts.
But otherwise, it's just Kaide and Dino out at an empty theme park.
It's a bit weird. I thought it was kind of it was a little interesting when they're in the Ferris wheel because obviously like she's the camera operator because the dinosaur camera on the fucking camera from the suit and everything. And it's like I got the manufactured material. We have no direction. Oh no! And I was like, okay, this is kind of funny because yeah, but it didn't work very well. No, for the most part.
I got actually more how they've exported the dino suits out to other countries. You can it's like send it out to a dude in New York and it's like
Yeah.
oh, Dino is in New York. Oh, you must have teleported there, of course.
What's the film that he's dressed up? It's a costume from the film Yatsu Hakamura.
It's like a little cat hat or something. Yeah, yeah. I don't know why that's a ghost thing, but
it's a 1996 film remake of a well-known Japanese mystery.
mm.
No, also a 1951 film. That'd be what it's been remaking of. Oh yeah, it's a guy with bandages around his head, which are holding candles.
Right.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
possibly torchlights. I think it might be torches. Yeah, actual like the torches you hold like this with like the looping lamp.
Yes, I've seen that motif used before. Actually, a lot of anime things.
There is
Some
a
setups
figure
too.
of him. The Curse of the Eight Tombs. Okay, I wonder if that's what a certain sub-story in Yakuza 6 is referencing. Meanwhile, back to the cartoon part of this cartoon. The first part is Kaide's left her phone at home.
And
And
she's worried her phone's lost, so they ring her phone. But it gets a busy signal because your man's trying to make a booty call, which is really funny. I did enjoy that.
yeah, he's ringing up to be told off.
It's like, oh, tell me off. You know I like it, baby. It's like, wait, you're not saying anything. Are you fucking mad at me? Wait, is this the dinosaur? Oh, shit. I'm very drunk. I gotta go.
The expressions on Dino's face as he's listening to this.
Oh, Jesus.
Just absolute
Didn't
disgust.
Didn't want to know.
Oh yeah, then they get she gets hold of Dino and gets him to put it on charge.
Put him on charge, check and see if they need milk in the fridge, and she's understanding him despite the fact all he can make is sound effects.
Scooby-Doo thing. No, but then it's like, Dino, you eating my crisps again? Put them back.
Yeah, and everyone's just impressed. It's like, I'm surprised she can talk to him over the phone and understand what the fuck he's saying. That's incredible.
Yeah. Do we got beer? No? Okay, I got some on the way home then. It's like a Scooby-Doo thing. How do the teenagers understand what the dog is saying?
Well, I mean, like, it's more impressive that she can understand the sound effect of him shaking his head in the affirmative or the negative over the phone. That's good.
Vroom, vroom. Beer.
The first shot is him being frustrated that it's raining outside.
Mm.
Then the
The
next
only bit
part.
that made me laugh was the bit where the rain's letting up in order to rain heavier. I've seen that happen when I want to go out.
Yes.
It sucks.
And then the second bit is, she gets annoyed at the amount of water and electricity he's been using for his Godzilla emerging from the sea-esque paths.
Well, then he's putting on the AC and using the hairdryer. And
Yes.
It's just like, come on, dude.
That's because he's flush with cash, because he just got like 1,000 yen bill from the landlady for sweeping outside. He's like, motherfucker, that's more than I make fucking minimum wage. It's bullshit.
That's the
And it's
punchline is that, yeah, he offers
divvy up
to...
the bills between us. How about that?
Yeah.
Work that out. It's like, okay, so you give me that much, and then that'll be the amount. And he kind of pulls out the shoebox filled with cash. And just like,
Yes.
oh, here you go. And she's like, let's switch fucking jobs. This sounds better. This is a better deal.
It's very thrifty.
Mm.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't spend as much money on clothes.
Yeah, and he just watches whatever is on the free-to-air channels. He's can just park in front of that telly. We watch cop shows all day.
If most of what you're having for dinner is pot noodles, you're probably like saving a bunch, yeah.
Yeah, if anything, he's like drawing more money into the house. He's self-sustaining.
The last shot is him going for a jog in various visual styles.
Oh yeah, they're showing the model. I like the one where it's not rendered in properly. It kind of looked like it was made out of crushed up paper or something like that.
Yeah,
it's nice.
I think they're just like showing what they can apply to those wireframe models.
Like here's the filters we
start.
have, and here's a little looping animation that we can apply that filter to. And I was just like, this is still pretty cool.
Yeah, kind of like the one that had the very intense shading on it. That was kind of nice.
It is a nice CG model they're using because it always looks like stop motion, and I mean that entirely as a compliment.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, it's very good.
It's like what they're doing in those new Peanuts films.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the right sort of limited animation to make it look like stop motion animation.
Oh, and the textures they apply to it, and the fact that they kind of use flat shots and everything to animate it on. Yeah.
And I guess it's useful that he doesn't talk, so I presume if there's a dub of this, it doesn't really matter.
Just leave it because that's
the thing I found with Snack World, because they put Snack World up on Crunchyroll, didn't they? But it's only the dub, and while their limited CG animation as a imitation of stop motion works great when it's got the original Japanese dub, when it's then redubbed over, it's just enough to take the magic away.
It's strange that they didn't put it up with subtitles. Yeah, that's very odd.
I think it's level 5. I think they dubbed it hoping to sell it to a TV station.
Yeah. They do. Level 5 do tend to try and sell things abroad as well. So yeah, you're probably right.
That's all the Gallon Dino, if addressed in a reverse order. But I mean, I forgive them for these live action stuff because they're doing the best they can to get the series finished.
Yeah,
I imagine it might have been a bit more ambitious.
Of a COVID thing, animation a bit easier to do. Live action, even in a dinosaur suit, still a little difficult to do.
Yeah, you're kind of seeing the rebalancing of that. What they can't do in live action, they're kind of getting more creatives involved in on the animation front of it. Then, and again, because it's been more time, people have sent in, or they've asked, hey, I've got a bit of animation I made this for the bumper or this for the short bit. If you want to put it up there, that's cool. So it's a bit more of that in it. You can try new things.
And then we got Gymnastics Samurai, episode 10, Samurai's Decisive Battle. I think this episode was the one which felt the closest to like a Yuri on Ice thing of just presenting a sports event.
This is the most gymnastics has ever been in this
Yeah.
fucking show, and it has not so much stakes, but we get to see different performances contrasted with each other. We get color commentary from the commentators and stuff.
Yeah.
Audience reactions. I'm just like, it's just a sports anime now. How did that happen?
Yeah.
This
I
is
mean,
what
I enjoyed
signed
it.
up for.
I would do say I did enjoy it. But that partly because I really like when sports anime just does this. That's the thing I loved the most about Yuri on Ice is just how much of that show is just ice skating contests.
I don't understand the scoring system in gymnastics, right? But when your man got a 9.0 thing, and then when he got like an 8, I actively, when he got the 8 point something, I went, and I don't know what it means, but I'm just like, oh, that's a bad score. You know, I'm just like,
yeah, because it is like a few threads here. Is the headband kid is doing badly, partly because he's doing too well.
Yeah, like he's over.
He's
like
stiff.
got too much energy, too much buzz, and he can't compensate for that. And then each mistake he makes like compounds him and like makes him go, I can't fuck up again. And
like he's thinking too hard about going to the script and doing it perfectly. That when he gets unsettled a bit, it throws him off entirely.
Yeah. I was wondering was the audience throwing him off a little as well, but he has performed at competitions.
Yeah,
quite
but
well.
that's again as well. He's seen as the genius. He's been held up as the new hope for Japanese gymnastics. Is he being judged extra harshly for based on what's expected of him as well?
Well, he's probably judging himself extra harshly for those reasons. Probably the outside sources.
But he feels that weight that's been put upon him. That maybe he thought, oh yeah, sure, I'm pretty cool. This is my passion. This is my drive. I can do it. But maybe that's getting to him a little small bit. Especially when you see Jotaro, who's just being easy breezy, man. He's just here.
He's smiling as he's doing it. Yeah.
He's just fucking putting out perfect routines. I know it's like sticking the landings on a maneuver that he fouled up in his previous set. It's like, oh, it's kind of like getting him back for doing the Aragaki better than he could do it, but not intentionally. He's not trying to fuck this guy up. He's just like absorbed in doing his stunts, doing his routines.
And they do a good job with the commentators. They're initially like, oh, this kid's the one to watch out for, that kind of thing. And like, ooh, he's not going to be happy with that performance. And then they're looking at Jotaro, and it's just like when he does the flip and he lands on his ankle, and he fucking hurt his ankle doing that. But he kind of like steps them in together so he doesn't lose his balance. It's like, oh, that's a fucking pro move. You need experience to know that was the right fucking call to do to stick that landing. And it's just like, again, seeing the commentators kind of flip, not flip on the guy who's like, oh, this kid's shit. It's just like, the pressure must be kind of getting him, like that kind of thing. Again, the sports anime, the good sports anime thing of just spelling it fucking out with the literal commentators you have there to do it. Yeah.
He wants to get Taki's whole, he said it's like parallel story running alongside this. Where like,
yes.
I'm gonna confess my love to Ayu. I'm gonna ask her out and to go like watch me at the big gymnastics meet, and I'm gonna do my routine. I'm gonna do it for her. It's like,
like his invitation's like, do you want to come to this gymnastics thing I'm doing down the weekend? And she's like, he didn't even finish like his thing. She's like, yeah, fuck it, why not? And he's like, oh, she said yes. Running into the
when
ring.
They first met, and it's like, hey, how's it going? She fucking gets him in a headlock and fun. Oh, good idea on the Inferno. It's like, oh, pleased to meet you as well. Whoa, this is hot. And then it's like, Mia. Or are you even?
Yeah.
Adio on the Inferno. It's like, what's that? Oh, it means go to hell. But let him off. He's having a good time.
And yeah, even going down to the coach is like, yeah, good job. It's like, yeah, that was love. And he's just going like, love, like doing it to the audience. And it's like, the coach is like, you fucking idiot. You've been working really hard. This is like all your hard work paying off, you fucking moron. But, he's still like,
yes,
good job, kid.
Yeah, you got the most points on the parallel bars.
Yeah,
I did like that thing of just like, oh, this character who's being presented as the comedy character is suddenly shown to be, he's really good at this as well.
Well, he's been practicing the whole fucking time. Every time we see him, he's mostly in the gym. So, yeah.
All this is happening, though, and everyone's asking, where is Leo? He is brooding in a hotel room somewhere across town. But it's the same as see the Gamma ticket. Why isn't he here? He's might be here for Dad. He wants to support Joe.
Oh, man, I hope he arrives by the finals. And if a man in black walked up to your grandchild and went, if I could just talk to you for a moment alone, it's like, would you go like, yeah, fuck it, go for it? I don't know. It seems a bit suspect.
Yeah.
But the
It's all
granny's
right.
cool and this lady looks cool, so she's like, yeah, cool people know each other.
Yeah. And when Ray has to go, it's like, Leo, come on. You say to us, sheesh, you gotta go support Dad. It's like, no, have to go back now to the ballet.
Must return to my home planet.
London. Yeah, I did like your one's kind of story of I'm going to distract the guards, you pop in after, because my thing is to bring him back to ballet, but if he goes back as he is now, he'll probably quit. And that's not me bringing him back to ballet, is it? So tell him what you need to tell him, get him back on board, and like she probably wants him to like let him hang out in Japan some more until he works out whatever this problem is he has.
Yeah. But as well, he's feeling, I guess, ambivalent right now because he thought, like, no, going on with Joe, was just kind of doing this for fun, but now it's come to competition time, and Joe was actually kind of, being a bit more focused on it. And he was taking it the wrong way. It's like, oh, it's just like kind of the pressure I feel again from when I was doing the ballet. I thought Joe was going to be the guy who got me, but he's kind of misinterpreting things,
He's the guy who is doing the pressure thing of doing the contest while he's injured, and that's exactly the kind of mentality and shit I'm trying to get away from, like ruining himself rather than being able to compete as a gymnast, where he's not seeing Joe actually like thoroughly fucking enjoy himself at gymnastics again.
The kicker though is just like, it's like, well, good luck. Wish Joe good luck and good luck, and I hope I'll see you soon again, Ray. It says, it's not calling her Rachel anymore.
Yeah, his entire tone has changed. Like he's not doing the "degozaru" at the end of every fucking sentence. Like he's completely changed, and he's appearing like calm. But again, they do that thing where they shoot her eyes and they leave his eyes out of the shot. Whereas it's like, yeah, he's masking his feelings and not doing a particularly good job of it. But he's not being himself, basically. Yeah.
Also, the little kid who's got a crush on Ray now was at the gymnastics as well, and being embarrassed by Brittany.
Oh, this is your boyfriend. Ooh. Shut up.
Where he's like, I know what it's like to have a one-way love. I assume have they brought that up? Because I think I missed a couple of episodes. I think they include the episodes where they were introduced. I assume it's Joe that they've got a one-way crush on.
I assume it's just the joke that he's either gay or trans or something.
Yeah,
I'm not entirely sure.
No, because
I'm going to go. Actually, I should go with Sheeeh because Brittany. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the complete professional with Joe, and has a completely like medical interest in their well-being.
Brittany says flirty things, but like other than that, nothing really untoward.
Don't mix business and pleasure. I'm a professional.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I'm assuming that's what was hinted here was that suppressing that because of the way that Brittany is the loudest to cheer him on when it comes as the punchline to that entire sequence.
I'd say she's just passionate. Can't live without passion.
The glasses guy gets some stuff with Minamino as well.
No, I was getting serious because they're going Tetsuo. Tetsuo.
Yes.
Full name. Come back here.
Like him being hard on him, but also still trying to support him, I think was quite good. I was worried he was going to be like, I'm the hard ass coach. It was like, no, he doesn't want to support this kid. He's just like,
you can tell he's up in his head right now.
Yeah,
something's eating at him.
He does throw off his armband thing that has like good luck at gymnastics or try your best at gymnastics, like stitched in the inside of it, which is like a very cute kind of childish thing. Again, it's like this guy's still a kid. He doesn't have the experience to deal with failure right now.
Yeah, I have to say with the rugby news this week, I was wondering whether this was going to have a flash forward at the end when we see all the terrible crippling injuries they've got from doing gymnastics and ballet.
Yeah.
From knowing somebody who did gymnastics and how much they suffer from doing gymnastics.
Mm.
Well, when anything's done to excess, it's tennis players destroying their
Yeah.
limbs and backs when they keep on going as they fucking get turned into cyborgs trying to win Wimbledon again.
Yeah.
It's crazy what they go through, what they put themselves through.
I feel like within the next century there may be the decision that maybe sports weren't the greatest idea in the world in terms of
Like people who do sports for fun, but they'll do it professionally through robots, remote control robots.
yeah, well that's it. Yeah, Hugh Jackman and his robots will be here,
It'll be grand.
but then you'll climb in the robot because it's the only way you can win. Yeah, that was the only thing which took me out of watching this week. I was like, oh yeah, the terrible injuries you get from doing both these things.
It's okay. They'll just like do it in the future. It'll be like Megalobox. It'll give you like kind of robot attachments for your legs. You can do like giant flips, jump and do 100 feet tall somersaults.
Yeah, but then they'll do the better version of boxing where you don't use robot boxing arms.
Yeah, the WWE dude comes along and I was like, these things will weigh me down.
It is a bit weird in retrospect, and the sequel to Tomorrow's Joe, where they're punching each other with giant robot apparatus, is the one where people don't die.
Well, I mean, like they know it's like, hey, well, let's step back from like fucking throwing our bodies on the line with like cyborg implants and shit like that. So yeah, I mean, maybe that is like let's not kill ourselves doing this, which is a good sports anime message that you don't see very often.
Next up, we've got Healing Good Precure, or rather, Niall's got Healing Good Precure. Episode 36, Gloomy Natasha, our special study camp.
Yeah, no more sports. They're off that now. We'll study like nerds.
Summer's over.
Kanata stressing out, not because she's failing her tests, but she met one of her friends from primary school the other day, and they went to different middle schools, and they kind of haven't talked to each other in a while, and they met up, and it was super awkward because they had nothing to say to each other, and now Hinata is worried that, oh man, if I don't do well on tests, you might going to different high schools, and then I wouldn't see you again, and then when I meet up, you're going to be all kind of fancy nerds going, oh, ho, 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 and I'm going to be still working at the ice cream stand, and they're going to be going, who's that? What was her name? Hinoso? I don't know. What would happen? So they're going to have like a little study session. They're going to try and hit the books and get her grades back up. So it happens again that then the friend is asking to come meet up, and okay, I'll go and meet up with him, but it's kind of awkward again. It's like, but you asked me to come out here and you aren't saying anything to me. He's like, what's the fucking deal? And it's just like, it's very awkward. It gets interrupted by a monster attack, of course, as naturally it does, because they're kind of bored as well in the underworld and just want to mess stuff up. So then when the other girls find out the monster, they had to kind of shelter inside the jungle gym, and they're going like, why didn't you talk to me yesterday? Oh, well, when I first met you, you like showed me pictures on your phone of the friends you've made in middle school, and they seem really nice, and it feels like, you kind of moved past, kind of beyond me, and like where I'm at, you got tons of friends where you were at school, like, no, but not really, like, I've made a lot of friends right now, and I thought, oh, that's what I'd be, like, I kind of talk to you again, but didn't been so long and didn't know what to say. And they used to have kind of cute names for each other. I get some kind of cute names for she was Natasha and she was Elizabeth. And this is, she tries to call her, but I quote this one. No, I'm not Elizabeth now. I was a dumb primary school thing. I'm Erica. That's my proper name. But that was a fun thing. We don't got it no more. But in the heat of the moment, they call out to each other is Natasha, Elizabeth. It's like, when it really matters, no matter how long it's been, we still care for each other. Like, yeah, man, that's the way it is. It shouldn't be about trying to catch up. It should be about picking up what we left off, man. Yeah, that's the way it should be. So they beat the monster and they take a cute selfie at the end. Where now it's like all 5 of the friends and the dog in a photo too. So it's together this nice little keepsake. And I'm going to try and hang out more together, because this is an interconnected world. It shouldn't want to be losing touch. Also, it doesn't matter if you get separated in high school. Let's call each other pen pals. Let's kind of keep this little thing. Maybe it'd be good for kids who are feeling a little bit distant from their classmates or school or whatever now over this year that we've had. And it's just like, oh well, there's other ways to do it. And I'm sure they're feeling the same way. They want to see you, and they don't want to feel like drifting apart. But you just gotta pick up that phone, man. Just send that fire some text. Ask how they're doing. It's good. Next week, they're just trying to catch up. We're gonna have autumn in December. Just getting up with the summer episodes done. We're going to be doing the autumn ones. We showed the puppy what autumn's all about. It's about playing sports. It's about preserving fruit, and it's about getting all nice and warm with a scarf and a mug of hot cocoa. It'll all be very wholesome and nice, I'm sure, until the monster messes all up for him. Shindoy was trying to do some really really bad kind of like insults in them, like see you later, nerd cures. No, that's not what we're gonna know. The dusty cures, because you're like less than dust to me. I know this is a family program, but heating good shitty cures right there. But
Yeah.
we got to save that for the whole video release with the different language track in it. But anyways.
Then finally we've got Moriarty the Patriot, episode 10, The Two Detectives, Act 1. Who were the two detectives? Well, it turns out by the end, it's Sherlock and Moriarty. As Sherlock is now kicking himself for not shooting that guy.
I should have fucking killed him. Then I would have fucking known. I wouldn't be driving myself crazy.
I thought I would have cracked this by now.
With all this smoke around, I was like, is that really what's driving him crazy? Or is it this is as far as we are able to allude to opium usage?
I mean, like he literally said that Moriarty said it's like, oh, you take some of the hard shit or whatever the fuck, in terms of the drugs that he be on.
Let's go blaze it up, man.
He was just playing that violin so furiously it was causing smoke to rise.
It was causing smoke to rise up and for him to hallucinate a guy who he wanted to get killed
and to throw him into depression.
No matter how many of these stupid cases he's getting in, because obviously it got leaked to the newspapers by someone. So he's getting loads of cases, but they're all like really easily solvable, and he's doing great fucking business. But he's like, yeah, but it's not cool mysteries.
Yeah. So he fired a gun because he knew that if he fired a gun at this time of day, it would attract Lestrade from the barbers nearby. He would hear it and he'd come to him because he wants to tell Lestrade, find me a dead aristocrat.
I did like the way
if you know him in about him down the road, why couldn't he just come down and just get me? Because he just runs up, he still has the shaving cream on his face.
Yeah, because I was like, is he lodging there as well? And I was like, oh no,
I figured he's just in the barber down the road or something like that, and that's gunshots. It must be Sherlock, because who else would get shot at on this street? I did like the way the landlady kind of comes up with like a frying pan and like a pot on her head.
Yes.
It's like she's ready for war.
Which one do you want, Watson?
I know you're a soldier yourself, so you know how it is.
And it turns out Viscount Redshire had died in York recently. So hop on a train, let's go to York.
It appeared to be perfectly natural. He was sick. He went for a walk near a lake and fell over and died.
Or I was too busy trying to spot York landmarks from having lived in York at one point. I was like, yeah, that's the train station. That's the Minster off in the distance.
That's nice.
Yep, that's all.
Yeah, the train station hasn't changed all that much.
They probably want to keep it the same, right?
Yeah. It's I would say that there's a lot of train stations which look like that in the UK. Probably not as many as there used to be, but there are still.
I don't think Paddington looks the same as it did in this show.
No, probably not.
A bit more modern now, yeah.
Watson and Sherlock had a big falling out.
They do.
Sherlock said he's having a nick fit. So it's like, fuck, I haven't got my matches. Watson, give me a match. It's like, whoa,
why didn't you let me shoot that guy?
Snappy McSnapperson, what's up with you?
You didn't let me shoot that guy. What the fuck? And he's like, what? You wanted to shoot that guy? Dude, that's fucked up. That's a murder. Murders is crimes. What? I am not friends with you anymore. It goes off in a huff.
I'm going to lock you out.
Here's your ticket. It's kind of fucking fucks into his face.
Yeah. He doesn't give him the ticket, but he does lock him out of their shared room. And Sherlock's like, oh, fine, if I'm locked out, I'm just going to go have fucking dinner.
And
Like-
then the episode starts getting really good.
It's like, it's my mate. I'm gonna go over there and talk to him.
It's a nerd. Hey, nerd. How's it going?
I did like the way your man was just like super cool, just like, oh, hello, my friend, and the other guy's just, his brother is just like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. the
Yeah.
entire time.
Eyeing the cutlery. He's like, oh, I might just shank this dude if he knows too much.
Yeah, and it's when he says the thing and he grabs that knife. I'm like, oh, you shouldn't have grabbed that knife, because I bet down the line that's the thing where Sherlock's going to reference that at some point.
Like, I bet Sherlock wasn't watching him because he knows he's a cool customer. He was watching his brother. Like,
yeah.
And because his brother reacted all the bad ways. Like, your man had like a tiny sweat drop, where your man was just like, oh, I'm fucking super tense and nervous about this. But yeah, he's just like, hey, I'm trying to find this guy. He's murdering aristocrats and shit. And he obviously did the job on the boat, and he obviously did the job here. And I think it's you, and I know it's you because the guy fucking told me. Mr. Hope told me it was you. So
Then it's like freeze time. What did you? As this Strauss is and then when Lewis is going, the gears are going. Okay, but we fucking had that place washed all the time, and we know that nobody fucking went to cover had a chance to go in there to see Hope at all. So he's obviously lying about this. But if he says
no,
that based by using that, then he'll know that we had guys watching the place, no one can get in.
If we deny it, then then that's evidence for him to know that we were watching that guy. So this is like, yeah, so he's just like, oh, well, I mean, like, I guess I've nothing to fucking prove that I wasn't, but isn't that your fucking job to catch me?
Like, William's doing it properly. He was just like, oh, well, that seems unlikely. What if say you did that? He's just like, no, playing
I can't
off as a
disprove it.
joke. And it's
But it's the way that what's the line
he
the
says
weird
it
Oh, he doesn't know.
it's like,
Well, you gotta set it up.
can.
You gotta stop because it's just like back like this.
Yeah, he does the relaxed pose that Holmes
Catch me if you can, Mr. Holmes.
is what you'd like me to say.
In that precise way.
Yeah, like he there's a big distance between him saying that and then he said, is what you'd like me to say if I did the crime, right? And Holmes just like, but he leaves such a long space between is what you'd like me to say. Holmes just like kind of sits up like super horny, going like, oh my god, yes. It's really funny. Very, very good stuff.
Oh no, the screams further down the train.
Yes.
It's a crime. Let's go. Oh, and that stage, Lestrade showed up in the carriages like, oh, this is my good friend, the fucking the police. Like, sorry, he's the head of Scotland Yard, or he's a detective in Scotland.
He's an inspector. He's one of the inspectors at Scotland Yard.
Yeah. Which is just like making it more so like, oh shit, but it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, there's been a moida on the train. But
Yeah,
it's a locked room mystery.
Yeah, because I like he's like introducing him to let them know if they tried something, they would have been in more they would have been in trouble.
Yeah. Like,
I do like this.
The cop, right?
This almost feels like the first hint of Lewis's personality we've had in the entire series, because he's always been the quiet brother, pretending to be the butler or pretending to be various other roles.
But so he's the quiet one, because we know that since he was like a lad, he used to do this, comes up behind us, so like shh with the knife. That was his whole thing back when they were the boys, like street urchin gang.
He's quiet on the front, but like deep, like fucking well of whirling emotions.
Yeah. I was reading about how the reason there's two brothers is because there's like a bit of contradictory information about Moriarty's brothers in the novels. So they solved it by giving him two brothers here.
Yeah. I figure it was like, well, one guy can't do all of those things, so what if it was three guys? Works a little better. Yeah.
But it also works in terms of for characters and merchandising. You got three like types. You have the sexy smart one. You have the kind of more
refined, regal,
quiet, polite one. Then you have the really cool older brother type. Cover all the bases.
Yeah.
So they go and find the body. It's in a locked carriage.
The dude has clearly been fucking ripped open.
And Sherlock's like, let's find out which one of us, Liam. I love that he called him Liam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, that's a weird shortening of that name, but all right.
Sure.
But I think it's designed to be
weird.
weird.
Yeah, it's great. It's like, okay, we got nothing to do till we get to London, right? So let's solve this mystery. And he's just like, yeah, okay, fuck it.
But it might be a little bit more difficult because here's Watson. He's also been stabbed.
Or use blood on him. It's
Yeah, it's not entirely clear because his face is like pale as a ghost.
Yeah.
Fucking like yeah, like you say, it's on the train where it gets really fucking good. Because basically up to that point, it's just Holmes being like, fuck it, I want a cool mystery. I should have shot that guy. I'm on drugs.
yeah.
Which is still fun. But yeah,
this is what I was waiting for. Yeah, just to have these two like interact again. But just ever
Yeah.
since that middle meeting on the boat, it's like, oh, I want to see these two just across the table, just absolutely being absolute bitches to each other.
Yeah,
And
so-
it didn't let down in that regard.
yeah, I'm guessing you were or you got exactly what you wanted, and it's like, yeah, it's not going to keep them apart that fucking much. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's too good to not play with. Yeah.
That was Moriarty the Patriot. Another good episode. Just gotta wait for the other volumes of the comic to come out now. That is your lot. I had a look at what's coming up in the new season, and it's too much again. Surprisingly, I guess it's because of stuff being held over.
Yeah, stuff is on the back burner, and now it's
Because I wouldn't have normally expected quite so much stuff I'd be interested in on a January season. But
is that when Vlad Love is?
yes, that wasn't. Don't think that was even in the 8 I was counting.
oh,
yeah.
I could be wrong.
That was meant to be this year, I think, or towards the end of this
It
year.
was, yeah. I think it was meant
yeah.
to be October, and it got bumped, and it does look very good.
Yes, yeah.
It looks so much like because I was like, does he know how to do comedy anymore? And then they dropped that trailer, and I was like, yeah. Not only does he know how to do comedy anymore, he appears to be taking the piss out of himself as well, because it runs through all his various different styles in the trailer.
Well, who to say he wasn't doing a bit of homework when he's trying to make all those live action films for the last couple of years.
Worst case scenario, like we'll do a few, and it'll make a good, like, once all of it's out, it's like, okay, you can do like it's.
Oh yeah, I'm sure some of it will be bad, but
that too, you can't really predict. You might get something good that you weren't expecting to be good.
anything coming up for Christmas on Secret of the Sailor Madness? Have you nailed it down now?
Yeah, it's Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol, which we had nailed down plenty of times. That's what it's going to be. By the time you hear this, we'll certainly have that. Early in the coming year, though, shameless cash in, because they are putting out a Lupin series. Not the Lupin the Third series, an actual one is based on Arsène Lupin and the character novels, Netflix series, or it's about a dude taking inspiration and just take on the persona of that. It wasn't the only time we've had Lupins in animation. We've also has ones they exploit the Arsène Lupin, aka Knighthood. Coming earlier in the year to jump on that particular bandwagon. But it's a pretty cool cartoon. It's got a pretty cool looking intro. So might be fun to deliver on the kind of mystery front, or this kind of just cool spy burglar gentleman thief kind of jobbies. It's pretty cool, and lots of other cool things in store for the coming year. What do you got, Brian? What do you got for Christmas yourself?
Nothing.
We've been a bad
Christmas
boy.
is cancelled. Quite possibly, literally.
Oh dear.
We'll see what the news brings us over the next couple of days. As I hear you've got extra spicy coronavirus in London, Niall.
Oh, Southern Fried.
This one.
Oh
which
yeah, they
apparently,
do have a new fucking strain of it, don't they? Yeah.
They do, yes.
Limited edition, sweet chili and sour cream flavor coronavirus.
So I've got loads of stuff to get out that I haven't. Well, I have edited it. I haven't uploaded it yet. So that'll be coming out over Christmas, but nothing Christmas flavored, except if I get a squeeze of Madstravaganza in before the new year. We'll see. It depends what I'm doing for Christmas. Like I said, don't know yet. Increasingly looking like I'll be staying at home, in which case you'll probably get a Madstravaganza before New Year's Eve. Possibly on New Year's Eve, because I'm not going to be going anywhere. So.
Gonna be Madstravaganza. It gets madder as it gets closer to midnight.
Quite possibly. But between my car, I'm getting the battery replaced on Friday now, which doesn't leave much room if there's anything else needs doing. But and also the very big possibility that my mum will still be in tier 3, so I probably should not be travelling into a tier 3 area.
Yeah.
So fun. Despite the fact that the whatever many days supposedly they're going to put the tiers on hold because coronavirus doesn't do anything at Christmas. Too busy seeing its family.
Oh yeah.
But Brian, they stopped the World War for Christmas. Surely the virus will understand.
There's gonna feed the virus a big Christmas dinner. It's gonna get all dozy up to the fan, the turkey, and then it'll take a nap for a bit. And
Yeah,
then
it'll be asleep by
move around.
noon. Fucking grand, bish bash bosh.
Yeah, let's just put it. It'll just like fall asleep watching Indiana Jones again, and they're gonna put on all the films back.
I don't know.
back.
I suspect the virus is a Mrs. Brown's Boys fan, and it'll be awake again by 10 p.m.
Oh no, it would be. It fucking would be.
Well, it hates all that's pure and good in this world, so yeah, probably. So many assholes got infected by it and they didn't kill them.
Rightio, we'll be back next week with more of this. We'll see you then. Goodbye.
Bye.
Right. Well, somebody was saying nice things, saying we should have 15